The shimmering blue feathers fan out in a perfect circle. It looks like a classic courtship display in the Indian forest. A symbol of royalty and elegant, harmless beauty. But this is not a dance of reproduction or seduction. It is a calculated psychological weapon of survival. Hidden beneath the stunning display is an efficient reptile predator. The target of this hypnotic performance is highly venomous. An Indian cobra is coiled defensively in the tall grass. The bird does not flee from the venomous reptile. Instead, it actively seeks out the confrontation with the snake. How does a bird with no immunity survive this fight? The answer shatters everything we assume about this elegant creature. The forest floor is completely silent as the two animals face off. The cobra raises its hood and hisses aggressively at the bird. One bite contains enough neurotoxin to kill a grown adult. The bird lacks the biological immunity found in some mammals. If those fangs pierce the skin, the bird will die. Yet the peacock steps closer to the striking zone. It shakes its massive tail feathers to create a loud rattling sound. The visual overload completely disorients the snake's tracking ability. A cobra relies heavily on predicting the movement of its target. But the giant wall of eye spots makes prediction mathematically impossible. The snake strikes blindly at the shimmering wall of feathers. It hits nothing but air and light plumage. The bird instantly steps back with perfect timing. It always stops just millimeters outside the snake's striking range. This precision is not an accident. It is the result of thousands of years of evolutionary refinement. The bird possesses reflexes that rival the fastest feline hunters. The snake pulls back to prepare for another desperate strike. But the bird does not wait for a second attempt. It launches an offensive using its heavily armored legs. Thick keratin scales cover the entire lower portion of its legs. These scales act as natural armor against the short fangs. The sharp talons pin the snake's head firmly to the ground. The physical fight is over in less than 3 seconds. The bird repeatedly thrashes the reptile against the hard soil. It ensures the venomous threat is completely neutralized before eating. Swallowing a venomous snake presents a major biological risk. But the bird's digestive system is uniquely equipped for this diet. The strong stomach acids quickly break down the neurotoxic proteins. As long as there are no internal scratches, the bird is perfectly safe. This predatory behavior is deeply ingrained in Indian culture. Ancient villages kept these birds specifically as natural pest control. They are highly territorial and aggressively eliminate any snake they find. But they offer another vital service to the entire forest ecosystem. They act as an early warning system for other animals. A sharp metallic cry rings out through the dense canopy. The sound carries for miles across the entire valley. It signals the presence of a hidden leopard or a tiger. Every prey animal in the forest immediately stops and listens. The beautiful bird is actually the most vigilant guard in the jungle. It uses its excellent eyesight to spot danger from the highest branches. When the threat is too large, it warns the others. When the threat is a snake, it handles the problem directly. This aggressive nature contradicts its image in modern popular culture. We view the massive tail solely as a tool for attracting females. It requires immense energy to grow and maintain those heavy feathers. The display makes the bird a highly visible target for large predators. It slows them down during flight and hinders their escape. This is the classic evolutionary concept of a biological handicap. A male that survives despite this massive burden proves his genetic fitness. But the tail is more than just a costly advertisement. It is an active component in their daily survival strategy. The eye spots mimic the gaze of dozens of large predators. This illusion can briefly startle an approaching leopard in the thick bushes. A fraction of a second is all the bird needs to take flight. They are surprisingly powerful flyers despite their awkward heavy appearance. They launch vertically into the air to reach the upper canopy. Here they spend the night safe from ground-dwelling predators. But the ground is where they truly rule during the day. Another cobra ventures into the clearing near the village edge. It senses the vibration of heavy footsteps approaching very fast. The shimmering blue neck appears above the tall dry grass. The snake attempts to slide away into the dense roots. But the bird covers the distance in 3 rapid strides. The visual display is not needed for a fleeing target. The bird strikes downward with surgical precision and immense force. A heavy beak crushes the spine right behind the hood. The process of thrashing and swallowing begins once again. It is a violent interaction that happens silently every single day. The most photographed bird in the world hides a harsh reality. We put them in gardens to admire their peaceful elegance. We completely ignore the fact that they are highly specialized hunters. The beauty is not just for the sake of reproduction. It is a functional tool built for intimidation and survival. Nature rarely invests this much energy into something purely aesthetic. Behind every shimmering feather is a mechanism designed to hunt. The dance is beautiful. But the audience often ends up as a heavy meal.